life, you can adjust as the change comes along.
And also when those changes happen, say for a family, if we have grown-up children or we have children, then I believe then we can sit them down as well and explain to them that certain things, has changed. For them to be receptive to that change. Because if not, like we don't want to make the change because we want to please them. And we stress ourselves just, trying to please them.
Yeah.
But they need to understand that something has happened. And they need to understand that. Maybe not for long, for them to support the fact that there's going to be change. It can go back to what it was, but you need to work together.
And that's why it's very important, our attitude toward change.
Yeah.
Because our attitude toward change will flow down to our children. And even if you work in a working environment, also impact people's life. That we have positive attitude to change.
Yes.
Yeah. But when we refuse to change with the change that we can't change, then we have a negative outlook, and also we have a negative repercussions to the people around us. Our world will be negative. The way that we look at people will be negative. The way that we look at our maybe former employer will be negative. So it brings bitterness and all the unforgiveness.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that you will take home. And who will be affected? Your wife or your spouse or your husband and your children will be affected because you resist the change. Yeah. So one thing that you list down is financial situation. Then you need to adjust as the finance obligations start to change. A lot of people today, they have short fuse, impatient, pressure is very high.
Short temper.
Yeah, because they resist the change.
Yes.
So our attitude towards what we are facing every day is very, very important. And for those believers or those that they know their God, the power of God will assist you,
giving the strength,
to cushion the change that is coming. And sometimes the change is very drastic. It's unbearable, but it is the power within your willpower, and that's why those that have spiritual value, that they can absorb those kind of change when it comes. And when you don't do that, it will have an big effect on the family, on the relationship. Continue to fight and continue to argue. Any small discussion will turn into arguments. The very small thing, and people will think what's wrong. No, it is something that goes on within. We already talked about the planning. Before the planning, we were talking about the communication. That's why the communication comes back. The more we talk about it, okay, this is happening. We used to be like this. Our expenses supposed to be used to be like this. Now we have to reduce because the income has reduced. And when we talk and sit, and then our attitude will change. Because we know that we can handle. We can handle whatever situation is thrown at us.
But one thing that I like about this pandemic, I see people are more mature. Their insight is better than what it was before. Or maybe we take life for granted and everything is always there. And, like you rely so much on what you are capable of creating or making for yourself, that we don't realize that you have a lot within you. You may be listening this morning and said, no, I cannot do that. I lack that in so many ways. But we would like to encourage you, as a person, as an individual. God has given you that ability for you to be resilient to everything that is happening around you.